What's up, you guys? Welcome to episode 9 of Kouch Chronicles. I'm Kelsey.
I'm Kristen.
And it's the day that we've all been waiting for. It's February date recaps.
Woo!
We have some new and exciting dates to talk about this week.
Yeah, we
This
do.
month. Okay, so I'm going to start us off with my February date, and then Kristen has options for her February date. We'll get into that. Surprise, surprise, my February date was with Neighbor Boy. And disclaimer, before I get into my date with Neighbor Boy, I'm going to throw this out there before anyone freaks out, okay? Nothing has changed. We're still casually dating, going with the flow. I don't have his number saved yet, and I refuse until further notice. So,
Who you
with
trying
all-
to convince?
with all of that being said, I actually have like a couple options for this date, but I'm gonna pick just one. He did go to Vegas with me. I had a work trip in Vegas and he came with me, and we went to this like supermarket thing that had all these like hidden doors, and it was just so cool. But the date that I want to talk about is actually Valentine's Day.
Aww.
I told him that nobody's ever really done anything special for me for Valentine's Day. I didn't say that to like so that he would do something. It just like kind of came up in conversation, and he took it upon himself to change that. So I had no idea this was going to happen. He said he was going to make reservations or plan something, and then like never did. It was kind of like up in the air. We didn't have solid plans. I like didn't care if we did anything or not. And then he was like, do you want to just come over and we'll like get food? And I was like, that sounds good. So I go over and walk into his apartment, and he had posters of like, it said, Kelsey, be my Valentine. It had a picture of us on it.
Oh my god.
And then he had another poster with like pictures of Joe Burrow, which I love Joe Burrow. Like I have feelings for Joe Burrow. Okay. I'm like in love with Joe Burrow. And next to each picture, it was like me thinking about Kelsey before a game, like coming from Joe Burrow. It was just funny.
So
It was
funny.
really funny. And then there were streamers up. I actually posted this on Kouch Chronicles, so if you follow our Instagram, you've probably seen it on a story. Maybe
you guys just picture a 36-year-old man cutting out photos of Joe Burrow and putting them on a poster board. Like
he even took
the effort.
I know. He even took a picture of me and like cut it out so it looked like I was like next to Joe Burrow. It was so funny.
Incredible.
I walked in and I was shocked. Like I was not expecting this at all. And then I thought that was it, like the posters and then the streamers that go into his like living room. And so I was like, I can't believe he did that. That is so nice. I'm already
so
like
nice.
shocked. I go through the streamers. There's balloons everywhere, all over the floor, everywhere. 50 balloons. He blew them up with his mouth. 50 of them.
He hand blew them.
So then I was like, oh my God. And then he had dinner all laid out, which I think he just ordered food, which is fine. It was delicious. And then he had flowers on the table and like in a little card.
What
that
kind of
said
flowers?
Roses, red roses. And then he had a card that said, love Joe Burrow. So actually Joe Burrow got me flowers for Valentine's
I can't
Day.
believe Joe Burrow literally asked Joey to set this all up for him.
Don't tell his girlfriend. Just kidding. And then he had like pictures of us printed out, and he had cookies. He ordered a whole thing of crumble cookies. It was truly, I think, the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. I don't know how I didn't cry. I think I was just like shocked that happened. Like I think I said out loud, I can't believe you did this like 50 times.
Oh my god.
I was speechless. I am never speechless.
No,
I always have
she's
something
not,
to say.
Folks.
I was speechless. It was so sweet. So we watched Valentine's Day, which is one of my favorite movies. I picked it. He didn't have a say, really. We ate dinner. I don't think we played any games, actually. I think we just watched a movie.
At 12 and a half.
Okay. And then I walked home with my posters and flowers and cookies. And like, I honestly felt like such a loser walking home. Like, he lives across the street. I literally have to cross one street to get home. but I felt there were so many cars at the red light that I was walking past, and I was like, don't mind me with all my
He didn't
very
walk you
clear.
home?
He offered, and I told him that was unnecessary. So, and he also wrote Kristen a card.
Yeah.
Which was so cute.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it said.
It was basically like, thank you for being such an amazing friend to Kelsey or something like that.
Aww.
It was really, really cute. And he absolutely did not have to do anything for me. That's for sure.
So thoughtful.
It was really thoughtful.
He knows that like if he wants me to like him, you have to. It was so sweet.
It was so sweet.
It was just thoughtful, and like the effort that he put in meant more to me than anything else. Like I felt like I felt special. Like I felt like
you
he
are
cared
special.
about me. I mean,
he
I
does
know that,
care
but
about
like,
you.
I just really appreciated everything that he did, and I know that he did it because no one's ever done anything like that for me.
No, he did that because he cares about you too.
Well, yeah, but it was sweet. Okay, we're still everyone. I know what everyone's thinking. Okay, like we're still just casual, so it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, but it was very sweet, and I really liked it a lot. And the next day, every time I looked at the posters, I was like smiling at them like an idiot. So
it was really cute.
Yeah, that was my February date. It was really, really, really good, and I had a great time. And that's all. Your turn.
I kept my card from Kelsey's date.
I kept the posters. I still have them.
And
the flowers died.
Well, yeah, it's going to happen. If anyone was wondering, I know the crowd is wondering, if Kelsey was doing this on Valentine's Day, what was Kristen doing?
Oh, yeah. Tell the people what you were doing.
I gardened and I fell asleep. And that's it. Actually, I ordered Chinese food.
That's right.
You gardened and fell asleep and hung out with Shadow. Shadow was my Valentine's Day date.
Oh, honestly, there's no better date than Shadow.
There is no better date. I had the time of my life.
I mean, think about it. He's never going to talk back. He's never going to hurt your feelings.
Oh, he talks back. But he's never going to hurt my feelings.
He's never going to hurt your feelings. He's never going to leave you.
He loves me.
He's there to stay.
Yeah.
I wish we didn't have to cut what she just said. It was really funny. Yeah.
Well,
I was actually really disappointed when I came home and you were asleep because I was so excited to give you that card.
Oh,
mostly because I wanted to know what it said, but also because I was excited for you to see it.
It was really cute. I like walked out of my room the next morning, and I think you were still asleep, or maybe you were on like your first work meeting or something. And I walked out the next morning, and all I saw was a card with my name on the table, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then I opened it, and read it, and saw that it was from him, and I was like, "Oh!" He even signed it, "Neighbor Boy."
Oh.
It was really cute.
He's a good egg so far.
He is. Fair.
All right. Your turn.
Okay. Well, you guys, I have tea.
She has tea. It's a piping hot.
I also have options to choose from.
What do you mean also?
You said you had options for what date you wanted to choose.
Oh.
I have options of what man I want to choose. And by some, I mean two. I went on 2 dates this month with 2 new men. One I'm going to call Pool Guy. We met on Hinge, like I'm sure I will all of these dates, to be fair.
You never know.
I mean, we'll see.
You could meet someone at the Italian market.
My dreams.
I hope we have hot neighbors.
I think we will. From what I saw when we toured, we're going to.
When we toured this place.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, we met on Hinge. He's a little bit older than me. He already lives in San Diego. Well, I have my Hinge location set on San Diego. Because we're going to be there in 11 days.
Next Saturday. Oh, I can't wait.
From the day that we're filming this. So the day it goes up, it's going to be even less.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
It's
going to be 8 days when this is posted.
That's crazy. That was quick math, dude.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So we met on Hinge. He lives in San Diego. And we were trying to decide if we wanted to meet up for drinks. I literally told him eventually that I was like, hey, I have a confession to make. I actually live in like Los Angeles right now. Like, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I should have started with that. So he was so nice about it. And we ended up meeting in like the middle to meet for drinks. We went to Newport and went to Stag Bar, which was just, I feel like a cute little, I feel like you could call it a dive bar, but I almost feel like it's meant to look like a dive bar, and it's not really a dive bar.
It's the kind of bar where it's like just like chill vibes. There's pool. It's not too loud.
Yeah, we went specifically because he likes to play pool, and we were gonna play pool.
Hence pool guy.
Yeah. So we ended up getting there, and it was like busy. We went on a Sunday, and it was like Sunday, like late afternoon into early evening. So it was like the Sunday fun day brunch crowd was kind of just like finishing up.
What a crowd.
And just like, yeah, day drinkers, I think. I didn't really like think this through that it would be a problem. But anyways, we went to Stag Bar, sat at the bar, and kind of just like chatted and talked, got to know each other. And then we eventually moved our way down to play like pool. And I am not very good, and it was very busy at this bar, and there are a lot of other people playing pool, and pool guy he went to the restroom and then came back and had stopped by the pool tables and asked one of the guys playing if we could like jump in as like the opponent, like the two of us, whatever. And I was like, no, I thought this was going to be like a casual, like there was going to be no one here. We we're going to play pool, like
by yourselves.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll go over there with you. I'll watch. And so we watched him play pool for a while. Then I think we might have had another drink. And the conversation was good. The conversation was fine. I think we got along really well. He was very, very nice. And then after that, it was like they were still kind of just like blasting music. And we were like, okay, after this drink, let's go just for a walk around Newport. And so we ended up leaving and went like for a walk down the pier.
I checked your location and I was like, oh, they're at the pier now.
Walked up and down the pier and then kind of like walked around that little area with all of like the bars and shops and stuff.
I love that area in Newport. It's so cute.
It's so cute. And then we ended up stopping and getting ice cream at the place that's like right there. And that was good. I got s'mores ice cream. Oh, I can't remember what flavor he got.
That's so Kelsey of you.
I know. It was so good. I didn't want to just get vanilla, you know?
Well, yeah. Why would you do that?
Because vanilla is like my favorite ice cream flavor.
They have 3 options, vanilla, chocolate, and s'mores? What were the options?
No, they had like 100 options.
I'm like, shocked that you got s'mores for some reason.
It was a huge one. I don't know. I was like feeling something different. Even though it's very basic, but like it was really good. It was
very basic of you because you don't usually get the basic flavors.
No, I usually like to try something like
pistachio or lavender.
They did have pistachio, but I was feeling something with like chocolate, like a little bit, but I didn't want chocolate ice cream.
Got it. So you went with s'mores.
Yeah, solid. So it was s'mores. Okay, so. Yeah, we got ice cream, and then we walked down, like, the little boardwalk there for a little bit longer, and then walked back. He ended up parking, like, forever away from Stag Bar because it was a busy day. I mean, again, it was a Sunday, and so this area was really busy when we got there. And so I had parked pretty much right outside of the restaurant. I think I just got lucky when I pulled up. A car had pulled out, and no one else was pulling into that spot. Yeah. So I pulled out and drove him to his car because he was like, can you please drive me back to my car? Pretty much.
He was that far?
Yeah, he was that far.
Oh my God.
When he said that he had parked and he was walking over, in my mind, like at the beginning of the day, and in my mind I was like, okay, like I'll get out of my car now because I'd been sitting in it because I didn't want to just go into the bar by myself.
Yeah.
Because it was busy, and I was like, I don't want all these people to think I'm getting stood up or something in case I get stood up.
Yeah.
And I went and just waited outside the entrance, and he literally showed up like 15 minutes later.
Oh my God.
That's how far he parked away.
That's like almost a mile.
Yeah, actually that could be long. It could have just been like 10 minutes, but it felt like 15.
You were Snapchatting us, and it felt like a while.
It was a long time.
I remember getting stopped and be like, she's still.
I know, and so many people were walking by, and I just felt so awkward. And the bouncer was like standing in the door, and I'm like right next to him.
And the menu was right behind you.
Yeah, and the menu was right behind me. So at one point, like these women and this child were like staring at me, and I'm standing there by myself, and I'm like, what the hell are they looking at? Like, I'm standing here alone. Like, don't look at me. Like, that's so awkward. Like, whatever. And then I go to take a Snapchat to send to my friends, and noticed that the menu was behind me. So that was
classic.
fun. That was good.
Classic.
But yeah, anyways, then I drove him back to his car and dropped him off, pretty much.
No first kiss?
No first kiss. We had been speaking like quite a bit or texting quite a bit before the date. So he had actually found this podcast.
Oh.
And had apparently watched a few episodes or skimmed a few, I think is what he said.
Sure. That's what they all say.
And
he's watching every episode. He's taking notes. He's studying.
He was, because he brought up the fact that in one of our first episodes or our January date recaps, I talked about not liking physical touch.
Oh God, dude. Maybe that was a mistake.
I know. So he brought that up, and then when he got like out of my car into his, he was like, I'm not going to make it weird. Like, I'm not going to touch you.
That is weird. That does make it weird. Well, whatever.
But
I mean,
yeah.
at least that was like respectful.
Yeah.
I love that he watched the podcast.
I know. Thank you. Huge supporter.
Number one fan.
Hey, pool guy, if you're watching or listening now, like, hey.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Kelsey.
But yeah, so it was a good date. He was very nice. Yeah. We'll see if there's going to be a second date. That's it.
All right. Date number 2.
Date number 2. Okay. Date number 2. I'm going to call him Airplane. And
he is literally saved in her phone as an airplane.
Yes.
If you knew that, it's just funny.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Airplane and I also met on Hinge, and we had kind of been chatting for a while. He was very funny. Ended up giving him my number, and he wanted to meet for drinks. I obviously told him that I live in LA, but we'll be in San Diego in a couple of weeks. Blah blah blah. Same story. Right?
Yeah.
Cover my bases so they don't think that I'm fucking insane or something. You know what I mean? And so he ended up volunteering to drive all the way here to meet for like dinner, drinks, whatever, but for
What
the
a
first
gem.
date. I know. And I was like, are you sure that you don't want to meet halfway? Like, that's a really long drive. And he was like, no, like, it's fine. I'll come to you. And I was like, okay, you said it. So I let him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
And so he came up here and we went to the Anaheim Ducks hockey game.
So he drove up to LA and then you drove down to Anaheim.
Yeah.
And then back to LA. And then he had to drive back to San Diego.
You guys,
Genius.
It was the poorest planning between two people that has ever happened.
That is shocking.
He literally drove past where we were going.
Like an hour past.
To get to me, where I then drove my car together.
My car.
Okay, then I drove my car back to Anaheim.
Oh, I see where the A came from.
This man is a real big stickler for time.
Oh, yeah. I heard.
So, yeah.
So I've heard.
So he was going to be at our place by 5.
Okay.
And then that gives us 2 hours before the game starts at 7. So you think, perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Perfect. That's a good plan, time-wise. Right?
For sure.
So there ends up being more traffic to us than originally planned.
Crazy. At rush hour?
He actually shows up like a whole 30 minutes late. So he shows up at 5:30.
So it's
and I'm honestly mapping, like the later he is, I'm mapping us to the Honda Center, and I'm like refreshing the time, and it literally was getting longer and longer and longer, and I was like, oh shit, we're gonna be late at this point.
Yeah, like late.
Yeah. So he finally gets here. He jumps in my car. We drive to the Honda Center or Honda Arena. What's it called? We drive to Anaheim. And when we get to Anaheim, I'm so confused with the parking situation that I am driving circles around Anaheim.
Oh no.
Basically. And I can tell At first, it was funny, haha. And then I could like feel him getting so annoyed. And I kept apologizing because I was like, do you know where to go? Like, I'm so sorry, but like
don't get
me.
mad if you're not helping.
Yeah, like, but help me. So we finally get to parking. And at this point, we are about 25 to 30 minutes late to the actual game.
Okay.
And hockey is not a very long game.
Well, yeah, it is.
But it's not. It's not that long, I feel like, compared to other sports. I feel like it goes by a lot faster. You know?
Maybe, yeah.
But
I don't know. I used to work for a hockey team, and I felt like I was standing for 17 hours.
I know, but you were standing.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So we get to the game, and this man is basically like not really speaking. And we had like talked a lot on the way there. We were like getting to know each other. Like, no perfect way to get to know each other on the first date than an hour and a half car ride.
Car wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Crazy. And so I was already awkward about it, like in my mind, because I just like, I don't know. I don't like getting to know people like that.
I don't like getting to know people when I know that all they're seeing is my side profile.
And also when you drive someone new for the first time,
you're kind of nervous.
Like,
you're
I drive different with new people than like
too.
You and or just me.
Sometimes I wish you would drive like I was a new person.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, you don't want to ever like slam on your brakes, and like normally you'd like kind of wait it out and see how long you can go without braking. Like, not with new people.
Yeah.
Then you brake way too early and you look like grandma.
Yeah, exactly. So on the way there, he also made fun of me for driving like a 7-year-old grandma.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh my God,
he has no idea.
Yeah. I was like, you have no idea. Also, there's so much traffic. I don't know how to drive faster.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
So I'm truly thinking that this date is slowly going down the drain because I can feel him get more annoyed the later we are. Mm-hmm. But it's not my fault. First of all, there's traffic. Anyways, so then we get to the game and he's not really speaking. And we don't really know each other. And I was like, this is so awkward. I think he hates me.
She was Snapchatting us or texting us or something. I think we were texting. And she was like, you guys, he actually hates me. Like, he won't talk to me. And we were like, oh my God. And you just got to the game. Like, that's so awkward.
I know.
I was like dying to hear updates. I think I was with Neighbor Boy too. And I was like, oh my God. And now this is how I was like giving him we were in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was giving him play-by-plays on your date. I was so invested. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
Yeah, so we get there, and I already told him, like, if you drive so far, I'm going to buy, like, us beers at the game. Like, the least I could do was buy a couple beers.
Yeah.
So we get there, buy beers. He's being nice, but I'm like, I can't read him. I don't know what the heck is going on.
Oh my God.
And so I'm not hungry, so he gets food, whatever. We go find our seats, and this whole time he's not really talking that much. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if he just like hates me or if this is just how he is, but like this is weird. I don't know what's going on.
And I just want to point out that like Kristen also doesn't talk that much.
No, I don't.
So like if a guy doesn't talk that much with me, it's fine because I'll talk the whole time. But with you, you probably just sat in a lot of silence, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. It was so awkward. I didn't know what to say. Like, I can't talk to a brick wall like you can. I cannot. I can't.
Yeah.
So, we ended up getting to our seats, and he ended up getting us like really nice seats.
Wow.
Like up on the glass, not up on the glass, but like quite a few rows back.
Oh, he was like, I'm gonna impress this girl.
Yeah, and he was like, when I get hockey tickets, I like get hockey tickets, and I was like, all right, big spender. Just kidding. It was a Ducks game.
Yeah, I wonder how expensive Ducks games are.
I don't think they're that bad. We're watching the game, and I still don't know what's going on. Oh, no. Like, I still don't know if he likes me or not, because we're watching, he's eating, so I'm not, like, he's not talking and eating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. But eventually, he starts asking me questions, and it was perfectly fine. I think he also was just nervous. Because then he continued to like talk the rest of the game. Everything was fine. He is a really big stickler for time.
So like, maybe he was mad and he was just like letting himself cool off.
Yeah, I think he might have been just stressed that we were so late. And like he bought the tickets, so I get it.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it was fine.
Okay.
It was fine. So we watch the game. The rest of the game goes fine. Ducks lose. And then I drive us home. And there's no traffic. So then I got to drive like a bat out of hell. And I'm driving normal on the way home. And it's like we drove an hour and a half to Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
I think it took us 40 minutes to drive home. I was so mad. So we drive home and we get to the garage and he goes, I literally thought you wanted to get rid of me. You drove home so fast.
Oh my God.
He like called me out straight away.
I remember you texting us because you still weren't sure if he liked you or hated you.
Yeah. Like
so you said that you thought he wanted to get home. So that was another reason that you were driving fast.
Because in my mind, I think I just freaked myself out about him completely hating me because that's like my immediate reaction.
That is so funny because I don't think I've ever thought that.
Like I was definitely wrong, but I think out of my like nerves and stuff, I was like, oh my gosh, he hates me. He hates me.
Yeah.
And so on the way home, I was like, I wonder if he was just nice to me during the game because he had to be there with me. I was literally his ride back to his car.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
Like, out of obligation.
Yeah.
So that's why I still was like, I don't know if that was all genuine or, like, he was just trying to be polite because he had to be with me for the next like, few hours of his life.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we get home, and he, like, gives me a hard time, and I'm like, no, dude, like, that's just how I drive. Like...
This is the real me.
And I wanted to tell him, like, I thought you wanted to go. That's why I was also driving like that.
Yeah.
But I didn't because I was like, what if I'm overreacting? Which I am. But we get to the garage and I park like by his car and we sat there and talked for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Just in my car, in the garage. Just about like so much stuff.
It's because you had about that much time to make up for it that you sat in silence.
Yeah, that's true.
And you probably both wanted to ask each other so many questions.
Yeah.
Just like didn't do it.
I think so because he asked me so many questions and then I had so many questions too. And so we literally were talking in the car for like an hour and a half. So then I'm like, okay, like maybe a hockey game isn't the right first date move. Because you can't really like get to know each other.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah.
That is like a perfect date, but yeah, it might not
like
be the best
date
first
two
date.
is fine. I feel like first date, yeah, you
That's,
can't really have a conversation.
I've never really thought about that. Because if a guy asked me on a first date to a sporting event, I would be like, hell yes.
That's
Perfect.
right. I was so
like
excited.
The most perfect date ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you're trying to get to know someone, especially if you care about the team that's playing, I'm not getting to know you while the Bengals are playing.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah. Not recommended for a first date, for sure.
Good point.
We sat in my car and talked for like an hour and a half and got to know each other like super well.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like we have like pretty deep conversations.
Really?
You know, did you ever in high school when you could drive, drive to your friend's house and like sit
in the driveway? I remember in college sometimes if I wanted to like hang out with someone not at either one of our places, like just alone, because we both had roommates, we would just like drive and go to a parking lot and park and talk, and it was always the best conversations.
Yeah, that's literally how it felt.
Yeah,
like as an adult, like it was, I don't know, it was so cute. I feel like. Yeah. Anyways,
that's some cute shit.
Yeah, I think it was literally almost midnight, and the security guard kept walking by, like in our guest garage. Hi, baby.
He probably was like, "What are they doing?"
Yeah. So I basically kicked him out. I was like, okay, you gotta leave. Like, I have to go to bed. You have a long drive home. And I am gonna get kicked out of here by security if they keep passing us. Because I wasn't in a spot. I was, like, parked. Like,
they probably thought it was a little sus.
Yeah. I had
like, these grown adults are sitting in here, not in a parking spot, just sitting talking for this long.
It was very strange thinking about it. But, yeah, and then he drove home and we've been chatting.
No first kiss?
No first kiss. Shocker with me, I know.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, it's just not for me. And also, every single time it's been the end of the last 3 dates I've been on, we've been in the car.
Yeah, that's true, and that's always awkward.
Yeah.
You know what? And no person that I've kissed on the first date has ever worked out for me. no person that I haven't kissed on the first date has ever worked out for me either. But like, so there's no proven theory either way.
Nope. Anyways, so yeah, it's not even something I think about. I feel like at the end of the first date.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think I only think about it if I like really want to. Otherwise, I'm just I don't think I don't want to kiss them. I just kind of forget that that's an option.
Yeah. So yeah. So then he drove home and I went to bed. Yeah. It was really nice. So
will there be a second date?
Yeah, maybe.
I like this one. This one seems like a good egg.
He's funny.
Yeah. Sometimes she'll read me some of the things that he says, and they're funny. And today she sent him a picture of my ankles, and he just roasted me. And it was really funny.
Yeah. He's pretty funny.
Yeah. I honestly am not even going to try to explain the context about why we sent him a picture of my ankles. But it wasn't weird. Just know that.
Yeah. So those were my 2 February dates.
Woohoo! February was a great month of dates. It'll be very fun to see who our March dates are because we'll be in San Diego.
I know.
Who knows who we're gonna meet?
I know. Oh my gosh.
I did reactivate my Hinge, and I did set it to San Diego. It's not going well because it turns out I just don't like anybody because I had 56 likes yesterday when I opened my Hinge, and I did not match with one of them.
Dude, but that's how Hinge is.
It's horrible.
Have you seen the TikToks like mocking it? Like people literally saying that.
No.
Like they're getting so many likes and it's like the ugliest humans they've ever seen.
I'm not saying that they were ugly. They just I mean, well, most of them were not my type. And also some of the stuff that was in their pages, I was just like, no.
Yeah.
Or sorry, short kings out there. They'd be like I'd be like, this guy's so cute, and then 5'6".
Yeah, I do forget that you have like a height thing.
I'm
because
5'8".
You're tall.
For anyone listening, so
I'm
like
5'3", so I don't really think about height at all.
She has so many more options.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5'8" is tough when you're dating because I feel like a guy has to be at least 5'11" for me because I want to be able to wear some heels every now and then and not be towering over him. So, anyways, it's not going well, but point is, it could get better.
Yeah.
And
we're going to meet so many people in San Diego.
Yeah, and then we could meet people out and about. So,
yeah.
We'll see. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see what happens in March and stay tuned, I guess.
Stay tuned. March date recaps.
Time will tell. And now I'm being eaten by Shadow.
Yeah, we need to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap this up. Thanks so much for listening today. Hope you enjoyed our February date recaps. Follow us on Spotify and on YouTube at Kouch Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
And then also on Instagram at Kouch_Chronicles and TikTok at Kouch.Chronicles. Okay, bye! Bye!